yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet and make noise for Gresh Unleashed!
Let's go! When the club go around here, I'm a cactus. Bang, bang, gang, got an OU jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Gresh Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Yellow, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like Gresh Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Gresh Unleashed podcast. This is episode 83 of the show that does the most and brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh. And joining me, hopefully he has internet issues, but we're going to do what we got to do to keep the show rolling, is my main man, my right-hand man, my partner in crime, the voice of the Unleashed Anthem, and the Prince of Botch himself, Mr. Hi-Lite. Real, what's good with your brother?
What's good, everybody? I just saw the host unmute the mic, so hopefully he heard me that time. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
My brother.
Yeah, you're good.
What's up, everybody? We here. We slightly a little delayed, but we here, you know what I'm saying? And as long as y'all hear me and my boy Gresh hears me, and the chat hears me as well, we in this thing, baby. Let's get it.
You already know, man. We're gonna like I said at the top of the stream, we're gonna be doing things slightly different. We're gonna, and I actually text you this as well. We're gonna basically, instead of giving you guys a long show of us breaking down every little thing that went on in wrestling, we're just gonna talk about what we enjoyed, and if we didn't enjoy it, we'll give a reason why we didn't enjoy it, and we'll move on. Well, we're not gonna keep y'all here for 2-3 hours just to regurgitate what everybody other podcasters you've probably heard say. So, hey, gotta do what we gotta do, man. So, hey, sit back, relax. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. We might as well get this out of the way since we just watched it like we did last time. NXT. Anything stood out for you on NXT this week outside of the obvious that we talked about in the text?
Outside of to the new tag champs, I figured they were going to eventually give it to Chase U. It just seemed obvious because what other tag teams are they really pushing like that? And that's really it. I mean, I ain't feeling Ethan's title run too much right now. Trying. We'll see what happens.
We're about in the same boat. I can give him his props. He can actually cut a promo that is interesting. Like what he said was interesting. It was like he was like, "Yo, it's NXT. It's not NXT. It's NXT. Basically, I finally beat Oro. I did this, that, and the third." So I'm not mad at his promos, but as far as him as champion, I'm not interested. But Joe Hendry, is that the only shirt that his brother owns? I feel like this man owns. I see this man in blue shirts, the same silk blue shirt. Did he get them in a bundle, or does he own the same shirt?
He's like Hey Arnold and two characters that.
TJ Detweiler with that same fit, like Recess. He's basically Recess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's him. You know what I'm saying? He's wearing the same fit. So that's when you see that. That's Joe Hendry.
I respect it, man, but it looks like we're getting basically Joe Hendry versus Wesley, the new and improved Wesley, and Pete Dunne in the triple threat match for the number one contendership that the winner will face Ethan Page at No Mercy on September 1st. So we can just go ahead and predict that that's going to be Joe Hendry, the way that they're building this man up.
I guess because it's obvious it won't be Wesley, which is why I'm like, why are they even putting him in this match? He just made it known that his brother wants to clearly fight him So what's the point? It's like,
Yeah, yeah. So they pretty much gave away the finish without even saying anything. I was like,
I'm
okay,
assuming Wesley
so
gets protected.
Joe.
You know, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
assuming Wesley gets
I
protected.
probably I see the Rascals interfering in this and costing him the match. More specifically, probably Zachary to build their no mercy match, and then probably Trick gets him. We're probably going to get a lot of interference just for Joe Hendry to win, to protect everybody, because you got 3 people who kind of needs to be protected. So you're gonna have, they're either going to lose. Someone's going to have to lose, and it's probably, I see Pete Dunne taking the pin.
Yeah, usually always do as. Plus, in Pete's case, I mean, bro, you got a whole feud going on. We know you ain't getting that NXT title.
I'm talking about leave. Ken talking about leave Joe alone. That's his good shirt. That's his only shirt, apparently.
Ken, come on, Ken, don't do him like that.
That's his only shirt. It's his only shirt, apparently. Like, let's go there.
Hey,
I'm noticing my chair's going down. I'm getting heavier than I probably should be. So I probably gotta get a new chair soon.
Yeah, it's probably Mine does the same thing, brother. We gotta get some new chairs.
Wesley's on Twitch said Wesley's heel introduction promo was missing something. Oh yeah, the boos. Oh, they still wanted to love him. That's the thing. Wesley, he felt the same, and then they kind of messed him up a little bit with having him come out with the same music.
Yeah, you got to change.
He literally came out.
To be fair, most new heels don't usually get new music right off the way. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say give it a couple weeks. Probably by No Mercy, he'll probably have that new theme song ready. I just hope it's not, generic.
It's Death Rebel. Generic is their middle name.
Boy, you ain't never lied.
I said let's just start there. that's literally their middle name. It's okay.
They've already messed up I don't know how many themes on the main roster that weren't needing to be tampered with.
You thought Death Rebel did LA Knight's theme music, but that was a whole different group.
Whoever that
was somebody else.
He butchered it too.
You're not feeling it. Some people feeling it. Some people feeling it. I gotta listen to it again.
I gotta listen to it because it sounds like the same thing. It's just like it was messing with things that didn't need to be messed with. But I'm gonna see. I'll try to give it another listen. I reserve my judgment. But Roman,
B said, you said, oh, they gave him Roman. They gave him They gave him his WrestleMania Night 2 thing. That was pretty much it.
But folks they want the slow bop. We want the slow bop.
They want the heel tribal chief.
Yeah, they want the slow bop.
They want the
that could be a heel and a babyface theme. You ain't have to give them that for no babyface version.
I mean, they could have just kept. They could have kept the WrestleMania thing for pay-per-views because the ramp is longer.
Yeah.
And it's a longer song.
That's true.
It's a longer song. But as far as like SmackDown and the weekly shows that he's there, they could have just kept him with the original head of the table. Now, I read somewhere on Twitter where it was like he might have a new theme song. And I'm like, for what? He's the same character.
Oh, brother, I'm gonna just in the case of what we meant, pray and keep and believe wrestling guys or whatever you want. Wesley has a bigger heel theme, generic thing.
But yeah, what Wesley said about Nash and basically, not why I keep calling him by his NXT name, Zachary Wentz. Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel. He basically said they left him alone to basically do damage control when Zach got fired. People was writing him off. Basically, wrestling fans were saying, "Oh, he's just a tag team guy." Then he went on to become one of the greatest NXT North American champions in NXT history. Some would say the greatest, but as someone who's lived through all versions of NXT, he's definitely top 5, and he's not 3 through 5. I can tell you that. It's a toss up between 1 and 2.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's a toss up, but he's definitely one of the best NXT North American champions. So he basically was like, all right, man. So he's like, by the time I whoop your ass at No Mercy, you two can go on and be wrestlers in TNA, and WWE superstar WWE superstar Wesley wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Very well said. In my own way, I felt like that was.
So he was basically being a dick in the professional way.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. Hey.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah. Well, I know you like them smooth. But nah, I wasn't gonna say that. Pause. Never mind. Yeah. Never mind. Figured I was about
that's some shit
never mind.
That's some shit we say offline.
Yeah. So that being said, Wes, I'm excited to see this, but it's going to be interesting because as they pointed out in the chat, the crowd does have kind of mixed emotions about you. I heard people talking about some Tokyo-ish, Wes, and I'm like, oh. So y'all
but then again, it is the Florida crowd. They cheer, they do whatever they want. For the most part. We'll luckily, they go to the CW, they're in front of actual fans that are.
So that is the plan when they go to CW. They're going to be like traveling for real.
They're just doing the first 2. I think they're going back to Florida after the first 2. So they're testing the waters. They're testing the waters to see if they want to do that again.
They should.
If they want to travel.
Because they come to Atlanta, we'll go to an NXT as long as you make it good enough.
I know. I'm just saying. I'll go in general just to feel the vibe of the NXT weekly as opposed to stand and deliver or pay per view. But yeah, I guess they're doing that just to test the waters. The first one obviously is because it's the premiere, so you want to do it big, and then the second one because they're going head to head with AEW. So with Title Tuesday. So there's that.
So sick of that. I'm sick of that. We're doing that again.
And I'm telling y'all that right now, I'm only watching one show. So
man, me too. Man. It ain't that much.
I'm just going to go ahead and get that out the way now. Like I will watch AEW on its regular time on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I will record it and just check it out on demand. Like you can't make me. I'm not doing that.
Facts.
No.
Boy, that just took.
This is not WCW.
Yeah, or 2020 for that matter.
Facts.
Good lord.
But yeah, NXT for the most part was usual, business as usual. Obafemi versus Otis was a banger, in my opinion. I enjoyed it. Obafemi continues to improve, and Otis was definitely the right guy to put him up against. Because I know a lot of people was like, who will it be somebody debuting or returning? Nah, they was like, yo, this is gonna be Otis. And I'm like, one thing about Otis in NXT, this version of Otis post Heavy Machinery is always a fun time. I don't know what they're doing with him and Chad Gable because he keeps losing. So
yeah, I've been noticing that a lot. Like, which is funny because it's like a food, they keep losing. Meanwhile, Chad and them don't exactly look like winners either because they keep jobbing out for that freaking Wyatt 6. So it's just like, well, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, NXT was NXT. We got, like you said at the top, we got new NXT Tag Team Champions in Chase U, Ridge Holland, and Andre Chase. Ridge's first title win. I thought someone was gonna turn heel or something, but no, that was the big deal. Ridge wins his first title in NXT. Someone cares, just not me.
I guess they could a 2 last week.
I'm not upset that they didn't do a heel turn, but I was just like, oh, so this was just to give Ridge his win.
Yeah. For those who care.
For somebody. Yeah, for somebody.
It's Ridge like that, so it's like
nah.
Cool.
Nothing.
If only Thea Hale got her moment, that would have been a nice moment too, you know. But I get it. You can't give it to her right now.
Facts. But yeah, that's NXT. Like I said at the top of the show, so we won't keep you guys basically here all night long. We're pretty much going to do our own take on, I guess you could say, what they do with the online discourse of the betting odds, if you will. We will do that as well. But before we do that, we're going to definitely talk about SmackDown this past week, which was headline, which pretty much erased everything I said was going to happen. Because remember, for those of you who watched, what episode was that? That was like over a month ago, wasn't it? Like,
yeah.
it was like episode 70 something. I basically said the only way you can make this new bloodline work is for Roman Reigns to be destroyed by the new bloodline. Well, Roman Reigns said, fuck that. I'm going to whoop everybody's ass, not name Jacob Fatu. So you obviously saw the return. You obviously saw the return of the OTC, the original tribal chief at SummerSlam, and he took out Solo Sikoa. So Solo was upset, and he was like, yo, Roman, you're back, but I'm the tribal chief now. And if you want these being the Ulafala, come and take it from me. Roman came out, and he was like, I bet. And he took out Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, by himself, no help, no Usos, no debuting nobody. Because a lot of people thought that it was going to be a debuting another member of the bloodline or another member of the Anoa'i Fatu Samoan dynasty, because it's like a million of them, like gnats. So, hey, you gonna debut? Nah, Roman said, you know what? I'm about to light all y'all asses up. And he just lit them up. First thing he did was attack the Gorillas of Destiny with steel steps. So he went in reverse. Instead of starting off with the steel chair, he started off with the steel steps. And then he basically had Solo by himself. Hit him with the Superman punch, set him up for the spear. The Ulafala slipped off after the Superman punch, and he had it in his hand. Like, he literally felt like Mufasa telling Simba to remember who you are, Simba. He was picking it up. He was like, he had it in his hand. Then he got attacked from behind by the God. And Solo, but keep in mind, Tama Tonga was holding that Ulafala kind of like mesmerized, like how Solo did when he picked it up. So I'm pretty sure they're subtly telling that story that the Ulafala is corrupting you with the power. They basically turned this into the Green Goblin mask. So whoever holds it holds pretty much whatever. Because Roman is the tribal chief. Solo Sikoa is the tribal chief. We're getting that civil war, just not the way that I said it. Because that brother. But then I want to get your thoughts on this. Mm-hmm. Solo and the God minus Jacob Fatu getting assaulted like this. Do you think that hurts them more now than ever? Because I said for this to work, they have to take out Roman. But if I'm a casual and I see Roman take them out the way that he took them out, why would I feel threatened? Why would I feel like he's in danger?
I mean,
same way with Solo. It's like, bro, you're yelling about, oh, I'm the chief now, but you a bitch up on the top of the stage yelling after you got taken out at SummerSlam, as well as tonight. Yeah. You the chief of what? Your tribe is getting destroyed in the ring. What are you the chief of? Hopes and dreams.
Nah,
Thoughts?
You pretty much put it as in a way. I mean, I can just say it's savable, depending on I agree with what was just said in the chat. I mean, but that's the problem though.
You're relying on one person. That's the problem.
You're relying on one person. The entire group can't just be a Jacob kind of thing, because if that's the Jimmy Uso, then by freaking Jacob, if everybody's just expect Jacob to be that. And the only way that happens is if Hikuleo was somehow like, I don't know, the new enforcer because of his freaking height. Before take the leadership role and kick Solo out, and Solo gets humbled. I don't know. That's the only way that would. Because then at least if that happened, it's like a whole different new threat or something. But either that has to happen or Solo's got to just get some credible freaking wins, bro. Like,
that's the problem.
Mid-carders.
I see what Ken said. I see what Ken said on Twitter. He's like, they still have to take him out on because they're advertising him for this coming SmackDown, and but they're not advertising him anywhere else because he's working the limited dates. I could see them taking him out here, but still at the same time, you still have that because they say because Ken said his next date after this upcoming SmackDown is when SmackDown moves to USA, so he's going to be out until September. He's going to be out for the rest of the month.
September will be here in a blink.
It's the end of, but the thing is, it's the end of September. But yeah, like you said, the way these days move, it'll be here no time. Still,
it'd be different if they were gonna say like, oh, he won't be back till like
Royal Rumble.
I don't know, top of the year. Like, oh, that's a waste, But like, you can hold off to the end of September. It's just, bro, like.
How they do it. They got to do it. They got to do it right.
Yeah, and I mean, I get everybody's thoughts on like when Jacob gets there, it's a different story. It's just from what I've heard on outside opinions and just listening on different theories and things like that. It's like you got the people thinking The Rock is really just the real person behind the Solo craziness, and maybe he's orchestrating the strings. Could be a possibility. Leads to Rock and Roman, or Rock and Cody, or Roman and Cody. Everybody's playing these different possibilities out of what we'll get by WrestleMania season. What kind of blow off is Solo and Roman big enough to be its own thing? Many people don't think so. Honestly, right now it ain't. If him and Cody wasn't a big thing, him and Roman ain't gonna be a big thing either. Now the Bloodline versus the Team Bloodline, as people keep calling this. Sure, a Civil War, people will pop for that because they secretly want that. That's what they want. But they mainly want it because you'll get that slight little meeting between Roman and Jacob, right? But they actually want that one-on-one between the two. And again, the only way I can see this working is if, let's say they do the Civil War, obviously the Temu Bloodline would lose, I'm assuming. They lose. Jacob pulls a Solo on Solo. He then feels he's the tribal chief, kicks Solo out. Now Solo's got to work his way back from the bottom. He's all humbled. Probably off TV for a little bit or something. Who knows? And then Jacob's over here forming a new little bloodline or something. And then it builds to
it's a million of them motherfuckers, so it'll work.
It'll work, and it can lead to it'll be Bloodline 3.0, but maybe it'll be 3.0 will probably be 10 times better than 2.0 for all we know. Guarantee you with Jacob, they're not gonna call it a Temu Bloodline.
I see what you're saying, but it's just like at the same time, that's you run the risk of rinse and repeat.
You do, no, you really do, bro, and that's why.
So it's like
something's got to give. That's why I'm like
something real. SmackDown this Friday is really going to have to be like, okay, I'm going to literally pay attention to see what they do because It's not looking the best for this current bloodline because if one man took you out,
Exactly. And that's without Jimmy, without Jay, without Sammy. You get what I'm saying? Like,
without Paul barking orders, like one man.
don't. And it's crazy to me because I'm like, I get that we talked about Solo adopting being the anti-Roman, right? The one that is thinking he's Roman, but he's not Roman, but he's everything that is opposite of Roman because of what the people want. They got what they want. However, where's the Solo that we either got in NXT that was street champion, or at least the Enforcer Solo that was just as badass without having to say much? Now, a lot of people character work on the mic, but it ain't translating in the ring because he's not ready. So my thing is, if he's not ready, why would you put him in this situation to begin with?
My thing is, who is saying he's not ready? Are the
Everybody
wrestlers saying he's not ready? Or
yes, everybody.
Wrestlers are saying it
media.
too? Okay,
Cody
that's what I want to
said
make
it
sure.
on a promo multiple times. If he's
That's
saying
promo.
it, but you know,
That's
you
promo
cannot
on TV.
know.
I'm talking about like actual people who's been in the business. That's why.
True.
That's been my thing because I want to make sure people. I want to make sure we're listening to people who's actually in the industry. I'm not talking about keyboard warriors.
I hear you.
I know you listen. I know you listen to Busted Open Radio. So that's why I want to make sure if there's.
Ironically, that's not even Busted Open. I've listened to quite a few little outlets of everybody saying a bit of the same thing on the media side. But what I mean when I say let's remember now, not every time when we see a promo, remember now, truth be in them promos too. Cody wouldn't just say that once. He said that multiple times.
He said that multiple times. It takes me back to when John Cena said that to Austin Theory. Exactly. And that brother ain't recovered since.
Exactly. Now the difference is obviously Solo is damn near, definitely not Austin Theory. He can recover. Right. It's just, again, when you really think about it, people forget how young Solo still is. And he did kind of get catapulted into the main roster relatively quickly at a time when the Bloodline was peaking, if you will. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, yeah, he's had main roster experience for a couple of years, but it still takes a while to find your true groove. And even though the promo skills have gotten way better, the look has gotten better, the in-ring still needs work because people talk about his limited arsenal. You know, like, oh, so many Samoan drops, so many spikes, so many, you know. But
then again, that's every member of the Bloodline. Minus Jacob.
I was about to say the same thing, though. That was my pushback, too, from what I've heard. I'm just going off what I've heard different opinions say, and I'm saying the same thing that you say, because you name me one Samoan that doesn't do the exact same different types. All of them adopt each other's movesets. Okay? Literally.
You see super kick. You see Samoan drop.
You see hip splash. Hip attack.
The splash.
Mm-hmm.
What other move you see?
A spike. Because the spike is pretty much a thing now. Headbutts, if you want to say that. That's really it. It's like the 6 moves of doom in a sense. And it's all.
And that's why when you see people like Jacob who does the whisper in the wind, mm-hmm. the moonsault. The moonsault. What else does he do?
The Impaler DDT that he did.
The Impaler DDT. When you see them do stuff like that, or when you see Jay finally adopt the spear, and you be like, oh, okay, you're doing something different.
Yeah.
Which is horrible when you think about it. But then again, when you think about it, you're looking at it from the fact that the crowd still goes crazy for every last one of them. So whatever they're doing is working. I think that's the reason why I'm always having pushback with Solo with this argument with Solo saying he's not ready, is because if he wasn't ready, as a lot of people claim to be, the crowd wouldn't give a fuck.
No, and that right there is what matters the most, because again, people forget
piped in noise or not, because if you want to use the piped in noise excuse, you can. I have eyes that work. Mm-hmm. People are still reacting to this man.
Oh yeah.
So the piped in noise or not, they're still reacting to this man. So it's like whatever he's doing is working. And I think that's why I always have pushback when they be like, "Oh, Solo's not ready." I'm like, No, I've seen not ready,
Yeah,
and I've
we've
seen them
seen.
not react.
Because let's think about it. Austin Theory, he's the perfect. If we're comparing, he's the perfect example to compare when we talk about not ready. When he was Money in the Bank, did anybody truly care?
No, everything was piped in. You can look at the crowd; you can tell they didn't give a fuck.
Exactly. When he was United States champion, did anyone truly care?
The second time they did because it was kind of working, but the first time, no.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there are things that like I said, Solo. One thing he has on the side is his family for one, and the history of the family, but also, like you said, those fans react, and it's better than no reaction. But there's still something that is missing for a
Oh yeah,
next gear,
for sure. For
and
sure, there is something missing. I feel like the Roman Reigns light isn't working for him. If he
right.
finds a way to get back to the street champion
Hmm.
and evolve it,
Hmm.
because I feel like he hit his stride a little bit as the street champion,
I do.
just
Me
being
too.
no nonsense, screw everybody, let's just mess everybody up, let's fight. Like literally, this man stood to Gunther. He said, "I don't care about you being a ring general or this Matt. I'm just gonna make you my bitch."
Yeah, I miss that Solo,
We need to
bro.
get back to that.
That Solo gave me shades of. I know John Cena tried to call it a Samoa Joe ripoff, which was kind of hilarious, but it's a good rip. I'd rather him be a low key ripoff of a Samoa Joe than a Roman Reigns, because
Right.
at least Street Champion Solo was wrecking havoc. He didn't give up who he was in front of. You know what I'm saying? And then on
He
top of
didn't care if
that,
he was Gunther. He didn't care if he was what's his dude? Come Tuesday. What was his name in NXT?
uh,
Shit. What was his name? Damn.
I know, bro. It's yeah.
Like he didn't care if you was big, small, savage or not.
Carmelo, yeah, remember he didn't care about Melky,
Carmelo, he didn't care. He did not care.
and
Yo, I'm ready for you. So Solo, it's like I'm ready for them to go into the next gear. I feel like
mhm.
one thing about it, because I want to definitely talk about it on today's show before we move to the basically what we're doing with Bash in Berlin and Clash at the Castle. I mean not Clash, because All In.
Sure.
Triple H's booking style is prominent with the Bloodline. He wants that shit to drag and drag and drag and drag. So I don't see them going into good full gear, pun intended,
Hmm.
until probably close to Bad Blood. They're gonna
I,
probably write Roman off, and then when it's time to build the Bad Blood, that's when they're gonna go into full gear with Solo and the Bloodline.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. It seems like Bad Blood. There's a reason why they would obviously choose that pay per view to bring back. Knowing
Mm-hmm.
him, yeah, it's going to be for a build up of some type of, literally, whether it's the Bloodline or just taking feuds that we've seen slowly building up. Like we talk about New Day a little bit. That might be
Mm-hmm.
something that ties into that. It isn't Xavier
Yep.
Woods' hometown, for crying out loud. Wouldn't be
Yep.
surprised if by that point, now I'm calling November-ish, but the more I think about it, he could get ready for his hometown where he could get that like hometown solidified win to then catapult him into his singles run. But who knows, you know? But you're right,
No, we can't predict Triple H's booking. He likes to throw everybody off.
don't he?
So that's the fun thing about it. But yeah, speaking of, we mentioned Solo Sikoa and Carmelo Hayes. I know last week we wanted to talk a little bit about Carmelo Hayes, but the internet was acting flaky.
Yeah.
You have some thoughts about Mr. Him?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to. I'm not gonna go so deep to say how people are like Triple H doesn't care about black talents right now. It's not looking good for him right now. When you really sit there and go down the list of black talents, So hopefully for his sake, Mr. Slow Burn, Long Burn, you build up to these things because right now you're proving everybody right so far. But something doesn't seem to be clicking here. Match-wise, Melo's going crazy. You know, you had solid bangers with Andrade. Clearly, they have great chemistry with each other. I like where it was kind of going with him and LA Knight for a minute, despite LA Knight kind of cooking him on the mic. I like where they were headed with that. It fit, but they just kind of suddenly dropped it once they put LA Knight in that title picture, and I don't know if they're going to try to revisit that or what. But as of right now, that had some potential to be something nice. He cooked with Cody, had a great debut. But it's just like, you didn't win the Money in the Bank. You haven't really won any matches. Because when I saw him lose to Andrade twice like that, I said, wait a minute. You're losing to the guy who's the Speed Champion. And on top of that, WWE has done literally nothing with since he's returned. That's not a good look if you're Melo. I'm just saying, because you should have at least got one on this man. The swag's there. I want to say the reaction's kind of there. But for some odd reason, it just ain't the way it was clicking in NXT. Now, maybe he needs Trick back. I don't know. Maybe they did kind of catapult each other pretty well together. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't 100% say that. But it is interesting to me how he's doing there and even how Trick seems to be on his little side quest mission in NXT these days. Since they've been split apart, you can make arguments on both cases. I'm a little nervous right now when it comes to Carmelo Hayes. There's still time.
That's completely natural. Trust me.
Yeah. I'm keeping it patient. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it patient.
That's your reaction is completely natural, especially if you like we've catapulted like, yo, this man is next up. He's the guy that you shape a brand behind. But it's like that's what I'm saying. That's the thing about Triple H's bookings. Like, you have to be patient. Mm-hmm. Like, you have no choice. This man will drag. Like, you see what he's doing with the Final Testament and the New Day. Like, I legitimately, when that music played for the Final Testament to come out after Odyssey Jones squashed Vincent Winey on Raw, I legit groaned. I was like, oh my God, we're still here. Why are we still here?
But I was telling y'all about that because I called that from jump. Remember, even when people weren't even caring about Cross, and I know they still don't, but I'm saying, like, when I was saying, I was like, yeah, he keeps. I kept telling y'all, you gotta watch those backstage interviews that a lot of people don't really watch like that. He was saying a lot of these things, and now it just got more public on television. But like you said, the problem is Triple H keeps dragging it, and it's like, bro, just get to the point.
Like we legit saw it on Raw, because that's pretty much. That's a nice transition to talk about what happened on Raw. Because outside of that, nothing much of note happened on SmackDown besides the big three reuniting. So that's probably going to be a 6-woman tag.
I got a theory on that, by the way. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't know why, but if you've noticed as of late, we got a whole lot of women's trios. And I just feel like they're trying to quietly create women's trios titles. And I think they're going to quietly get rid of the women's tag titles by introducing trios titles. That's what it feels like. Because think about it. Bianca, Naomi, and Jade. Blair Davenport, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn. Freaking something Fusion Control. What the freak?
The Pure Fusion Collective?
Yeah, see? Botched it. You know what I'm saying? That. You got that. And then you got stupid name. What the freak, bro? Why did you doom these 3 women with this ugly name? You can't do them like that, bro. You could have came up with a way doper name than that. Like, 2 of these 3 women are legit MMA fighters, and you do that to them? Why? Why WWE? That's more generic than a Death Rebel theme, bro. What the freak?
They about to do a fusion dance. So which way are you? Yeah, go that way.
Yeah, we gotta go this way. Oh, weird. That is a clip. That's definitely a clip for the show. Oh damn! I was just watching that saga too. This is hilarious, bro. That's why I was like, the pure what? I was like, what? The pure what? And you could tell, bro. Sonya Deville totally did not want to say that name, boy. She paused like a Daria was pausing like a the Pure Fusion Collective. I'm like, huh? The what? I'm sorry. What are you called? So let me get this straight. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Need I mind you, by the way, they still never really officially got a name. But
they're the Pride.
Yeah, exactly. But they never really acknowledged it as the Pride, right?
They tried it's like they tried every 2 weeks and then it just never stuck. So they just gave up.
Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits and B-Fab. You're like, huh? What? That long ass. Okay, all right. Meanwhile, you got these 3. I mean, what's the serious? Damage Control, Pure Fusion Collective. I swear to God, if you give Bianca and Naomi and Jay the name, it better be the name that somebody out there in the streets made up. The Powerbomb Girls, which
the Prophetess.
Yeah. See, you see what I'm talking about, bro? Like, you can't do these folk like this, bro.
Dan said the Pure Fusion Collective sound like something from Bath and Body Works.
Hey, shorty, you got that new Pure Fusion Collective? I got you.
That dude sound like a weed strain too, bro. Hey, bro, and you got that good, that Pure Fusion Collective.
Like, seriously.
I got you.
Shut boy, hey, he did say that. He did. Like, he literally was like, nobody with the name Collector's ever CC. And I said, great as of late. Like, at all.
Oh.
Not
Imperium
one.
doesn't exist.
Damage Control, remember, they were on a losing end for the longest before they even begun to see any wins of anything.
Yeah, because all he had to do was turn him babyface. and unfortunately, Dakota got injured, so she's going to be out for 2 to 3 months again.
Yeah, unfortunately for her, man. Some people are out there saying that might be it for her in the ring, bro. I hope not.
Yeah, she might. I hope not, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep her around as a manager and then just don't renew her contract.
Man,
I hate to sound grim, but it's like knowing this company's track records, they can only take so many injuries before they be like,
yeah. That's why I'm surprised Tegan Knox is still in the doggone company.
Where is she? Why do I keep asking these fucking questions? Why do I keep asking where these people are? Like, at this point, between her, Kiana James, I'm like, where the fuck are these people?
Where are they? Where?
Well, yeah, these names, man. Ooh, yeah, buddy.
Like, I'm getting the hunch that they're really grouping these women together like this because they're trying to secretly make some type of trios women's titles. It just feels that way. I could be wrong, but think about it. What other way to?
I wouldn't.
If you think
Long as
about it,
I think my gripe is with it's the same thing across all companies. As long as you make the division relevant, I don't care if you make a women's title, women's intercontinental title, women's United States title, women's trios title. I don't care. As long as you make it relevant and you actually prove that you care.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
let's keep it a stack. There's a few times where the men's United States title and the men's tag team division, they don't care. You can tell.
Especially the men's tag team division, because I mean, yeesh. Bloodline has one set of titles, and meanwhile, who's Raw tag team champions again? Oh, the Judgment Day. See,
And they're pretty, and they have Finn in a singles feud with Damian Priest. While JD is the punching bag. They have not defended those titles yet. I mean, they teased that Sammy and Jay might challenge, but you know they're gonna lose that.
I don't even
Because Jay is back there, is in the background, just chanting yeet left and right like crazy. Like he's not doing anything of relevance, even though he's one of the most over talents on the show. Every time his music plays, and then the bell rings.
Sometimes I look back and I say, how proud is Roman of what they're doing with Jay right now? Is there part of him that's incredible? Another part of him that's like, yeah, this ain't what I had in mind.
Give me back my cousin.
Yeah,
That's why when he's like, just give me back my cousin, because you're not doing nothing with him.
It's gotta be. It's something, bro. Because I'm like, man.
You can kind of tell that they probably taking their hands off of his story. You can definitely tell.
Yeah, because I'm down with the yeet. It's dope to see. I love how the crowd. It's a good time, but
it's good for the crowd to say, but if you say it every 5 seconds, I'm like, motherfucker, stop.
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
I didn't even say it that much when it was a trend in 2012. I just when I danced, yeah, yeet. That's literally it. That's the only time you heard me say yeet. But I didn't say it every freaking time I said a word. I didn't say, "Hey Ma, what we cooking for yeet? What we cooking for yeet dinner? Yeet. What we eat for the yeet? What's for lunch? Yeet. Hey girl, you got that on? Yeet. Hey girl, hey, what you is that strawberry McFlurry? Yeet. M&M McFlurry? Yeet. McDonald's actually know how to fix the ice cream machine? Yeet. Like,
yeah. You know, when you say that many times, after a while, you're like, good God, man, shut up. Yeah.
You be like, what's that Dave Chappelle skit? Shut the fuck, shut up. You like, shut the fuck up. Shit.
Hey, yo. Stop. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh man. I'm begging him to put him back. Long as the merch is selling, but it's like I'm begging him to make Jay depressed again.
It's good, I guess.
At least he was compelling.
True. I guess it's good. He's been cleared because then you really would have been. Yeah. No.
Exactly. No pop.
My poor Zach, brother. I know, man. I know. I'm right there with you.
But we was definitely talking about New Day and Odyssey Jones. But yeah, it's looking like we're going that route.
I got a theory though.
Like,
I'm gonna share a side theory on that. Now Stephanie Hypes shared this on Twitter. However, I had this thought actually before I saw her tweets. So I'll chalk it up as we both have this theory. But many expect Xavier Woods to go heel, but what if it's actually Kofi because of the Jones? What if Kofi's the one to actually do the unthinkable and become a heel veteran type who's mentoring a guy like Odyssey Jones, who's obviously the heavy, because we know Kofi's not the biggest guy in the world, but of course What if it kind of catapults him as the veteran to be like, hey, truth be told, y'all been dragging me down anyway. I've been trying to get back to the title that I shouldn't have lost in 5 seconds. Or something. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? What if Kofi's like, I'm tired of, I've been here for X amount of years. People think my time's up, but you know what? Nah, man, bump that. I got somebody that actually wants to listen to my mentorship. Somebody that I can groom to turn into a future world heavyweight champion. But before we get there, I got unfinished business to get what I shouldn't have never lost to begin with. What if? What if Kofi's the guy to go heel? Hey, I'm just saying.
You know what? Stephanie Hypes, Mr. Hi-Lite Reel, y'all motherfuckers are spitting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Y'all are spitting. Y'all are spitting. Because it's too predictable for Woods to do. They're making it obvious. They can literally, they can legitimately spin it to where Kofi is like, you give me these side eyes, I watch the show back. You giving ungrateful right now. Because if it wasn't for me, you and Big E would have been fired a long time ago.
Ooh, come on now. Ooh.
If it wasn't for me, Big E wouldn't have been Mr. Money in the Bank, and you wouldn't have been King of the Ring.
Ooh, come on now.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, now that y'all put that in my head, that makes that.
I'm just
would
saying.
actually be interesting. It will require Kofi to change the style up though, because I wouldn't want to see the same old moveset from heel Kofi. But I feel
that's
like he
why
can
I'm
make it work.
like, I think he could, because at first when I had this theory, I was like, Kofi's kind of on par with Rey Mysterio. He's such a natural babyface, but he has been heel before, even though it was with the New Day in their early stages. But it's like he could pull it off in a way a lot of people may not expect, man. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be shocked. I would be open to seeing what a true heel Kofi could do, especially, again, playing off that classic trope. Like, yeah, he's not the biggest guy, but he's got this big son of a gun right here having his back. Kind of like what we see with Mercedes and Camille right now. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
And then he could be like, you're right, Carrion. We're not trying to replace Kofi Xavier with the New Day. I'm going to kill it.
Come on.
Because it's been holding me down for the past 10 years. So thank you, Carrion, for showing me the light.
Yeah. And if you think about it, we've seen, that's why I don't, I get that people feel the way they feel about Carrion. It's a different conversation for a different day. But as far as what his character's doing verbally when he's exposing the things he exposes,
his character makes sense.
It makes sense, right? And the thing about it is, you see it in movies. Think about like Scream or different things. Like think about some of these movies where they paint one person to be the villain and make it seem like that person's been the villain, when in the actual whole time it was the one you wouldn't have expected. Which is, like I said, Scream. When you think about the original Scream, a lot of you ninjas watching that original Scream didn't think that Billy and I forget his name right now, but his homeboy. Y'all didn't really think they would be the killers out of everybody, but the fact that they were able to twist that and get everybody, even in watching that, you still go back and say, "Dang, yo, that's crazy that y'all ended up being the killers at the end of this movie." For Kofi to flip the narrative and actually prove Karrion Kross right and rub it in his face to where Karrion is not necessarily a baby face because of it, but just one of those "I told you so."
He's basically what was his name? What was his name? The guy who was pretty much the devil's advocate with Roddy Piper, Sean O'Hare.
Yes, exactly.
He's
I'm not
that
telling
character.
you anything you don't already know. Exactly.
he's basically that character. That's the character they're going with. And I'm not gonna lie to you. The only thing with Karrion that's my problem is his finisher.
Yeah.
Right now, I've grown to not detest him
Yeah.
like I did a couple of months ago.
That's fair.
It's more so like I'm just laid back. Like one thing about me, I don't detest anybody. If I don't feel, if I'm not rocking with you, I'm just not going to acknowledge it. But Karrion, his character is making sense. It's like it's making sense. When you take away the fact that Triple H drags this stuff way longer than he should, you can kind of understand the character of it. And then when they finally pull that trigger, please just pull the trigger.
Low key, and I'm gonna be honest, somebody like Aaron Cross could have been helpful in this Drew McIntyre CM Punk feud with how he acts. You know, he could have been the guy to paint out the real villain in that narrative instead of allowing people to kind of choose it. He could have been the point, like everything that Drew's been saying about a Punk, he could have been the guy saying that. Like, yeah, you come back after so many years of being away, but you're trying to make yourself look like a hero when you forget the fact you straight up left this company. You know, or saying, you know,
and dragged it through the dirt for well over 10 years.
Exactly. Like, there's some things that, like, this version of Karrion Kross, it may not be Killer Kross that everybody remembers and likes, but if you really pay attention to the character side of what he's trying to do with it, it makes so much sense that I'm looking forward to seeing who else he does this to, because it does help with the story. It's like a ripple in the multiverse kind of thing in the WWE universe. He's like purposely, you know, changing the game with his narrative of words that'll make you sit there and think, you know what, sir? You just might be right. I got to pay attention to this now. You know, we just need Triple H not to drag it so much.
I think that'd be my only problem with a lot of his stories is he drags way. Like it's a lot of times where it's like, bro, I understand long-term booking. I love me some long-term storytelling. Trust me. I survived the 22 episode era of the CW when I was in my teenage years. I know long-term storytelling.
Yes.
Trust me. I know.
Mm-hmm.
But some stuff you need to get that instant gratification.
Agreed, bro.
So hopefully as he's getting settled into this Booker role that he's in now, he gets the instant gratification part on lock. Like some stories, the main stories, like the main event stories, I don't mind you having layers on layers, but when it's like a mid card or like a tag team feud, instant gratification is fine. I promise. I'm certain. What else happened on Raw?
Rhea threw some bars, you know.
Oh yeah, when she said Dom is not deep, or
stabbed her in the back, but he didn't go.
He's something he's heard before. He's heard before that is not deep enough, and I was like, "Did you just say you got a little dick?"
I'm sure his wife doesn't think so, but then again, who knows?
I saw an interview where I think he did an interview with Logan Paul, where he was like his wife his wife knows how to separate WWE from what he's doing, because that's a lot of people's like, oh my god, his wife is stronger than me. She knows he's an actor.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's funny though because Rhea actually, we'll just say Rhea, not her actual name, but of course we know that
we will always say Rhea unless we know her personally. We don't know her personally.
For sure, but I saw a little snippet. I'm sure you probably saw a similar snippet of her talking about, Buddy Murphy and how cool he is, and he's so relaxed at what he sees her doing. Yet she was like, if the roles were reversed, I couldn't do it because I get jealous way too easily. And I'm like, whoa, hold up, wait a minute. So you mean if he gets in a love angle, you wouldn't be able to take it as well as he could take it with you? That's interesting.
I feel like that's an interesting topic in general when it comes to relationships. That's more so a communication thing. Because if you look at Mercedes Moné, she wasn't comfortable with being in romantic storylines. Like a couple of weeks ago, she publicly announced that she's getting divorced from her husband, and she was like, they kept it a secret because they didn't want he who shall not be named to put her basically in a love story with Reggie, probably make out or whatever. She didn't want to do that because she was like, she don't want to do it. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's understandable when she said that. Like, I've dated a couple of women to where if I were to do like a short film or a short skit, if it involved me kissing someone, they didn't feel comfortable with me kissing someone. Whereas I told them every time, I'm like, if you are an actor or an actress and you have to make out on a film, it wouldn't bother me because at the end of the day, you coming home to me. That's my mentality. That's my mentality on a lot of stuff. It's like at the end of the day, like that's why I don't understand. Like when people be dating these public figures, so like people assume that like if I ever date a wrestler, would it offend me if people in the public if she's sexy as hell and people just be like, yo, they be just, you know how Twitter is where they just go out of pocket. I was a part of that Twitterverse at one point where I was talking out of pocket. I don't do it anymore because I grew the fuck up.
Yeah.
But someone asked me like, would I be offended if that happens? Or like the way people talk about Rhea and tag Buddy Murphy into like, would I be offended? I'd be like, no, I'll agree. I'm like, yeah, my baby, fine. Don't you agree? Like, it won't offend me. But then I understand her point of view too. Is like, yeah, that probably would bother me because it's just a level, it's just a mentality thing. But it also comes down to that communication. Like you just have to communicate that with your partner. Like, hey, it's acting. Because I continued to read it with Dom's wife. She was like, I think she texted him. She was like, "There's a tarantula in the garage. Whatever that means, what it means, whatever." But at the end of the day, I feel like she says he says she's cool with it.
Yeah. Only thing,
and I'm pretty sure she will be cool. I'm pretty sure she's cool with him kissing Liv Morgan too. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Now, Liv Morgan and people in Liv Morgan's position are always the ones that are always interesting to me. When you are truly single because you are focusing on yourself, and as she openly stated on the pod that she was on, yeah, it's like, well, shoot, ain't it amazing how you're the one person that's like, hey, makes no never mind to me. I'm single. I'm cool. I ain't got nobody to worry about. I can wear these booty shorts. I can show these lit. I can do everything I want to do. You got nobody to be like, hey, bro, that's a little too revealing. What you doing there? You know, this and that. She living her best life.
And honestly, I feel like that's the thing with who your partner is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's keep it a stack. I'm pretty sure Buddy sees the stuff that Rhea be wearing.
Of course.
And he probably be like, yeah, that looks hot. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure Liv would love somebody. I can't speak to her because I don't know her. But I'm pretty sure she would love somebody that will be like, damn, that looks great. Mm-hmm. Wear shorter ones next time.
I can say the same thing for Zelina Vega and Tommy. Or, I'm sorry, Aleister Black.
Aleister Black, yeah. I mean, he was Tommy on the Independence, so.
Yeah, but, like, sure, that's pretty much the same case, Everybody knows Zelina has a very popular fan base.
Now, I've been seeing mixed reactions about the booking of this Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley storyline. What do you stand on it? Are you a fan of this CW-esque romance, or are you not phased like I am?
I'm not phased because I don't get when people say they don't like the romantic storylines. I do, because I actually thought those were always kind of cool growing up. Even when I was a kid, I liked them just because it was like, oh, cool, and especially at a time when social media didn't exist. Where
we had what do we have?
Word of mouth and the magazines and
and the little board, the little reader boards or whatever, like the little subreddits before it was subreddits, but like the little boards and stuff.
Yeah, like those made it more fun to me because you were like, ooh, so they really dating. Like when people used to be like, oh yeah, China and Triple H were a real life couple. Wait, they were? because they didn't look like that on screen. I thought that was just his muscle. Like,
Facts.
they were a real couple. And then to find out, like, they really were a couple. Wow. Oh, wow. Stephanie stole him. What? You know, like.
Then it becomes a whole thing.
But I love that because it was like it separated the reality from what you saw on screen. Because let's keep it a buck. Let's go back to when Seth and freaking Becky were a thing on screen. Their chemistry is not there on screen. It's there in real life when they living their best life, I'm sure. But as far as on screen, they don't fit.
Oh yeah, that shit was terrible.
Terrible. They don't fit. The best thing that came out of that was Becky taking a doggone end of days. That was it. It was forced, and even they knew it because they were in two different places in their career at that point. There was no way. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at like Edge and Lita,
Seth was still the burn it down Seth, and Becky was still riding the man wave.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like those angles.
And then what was his T-shirt? The man's man.
Oh yeah, that was so horrible.
That was a great area. If I didn't even know, it's like if you wear that in public, they'd be like,
that was a very vacant thing to do.
Yeah,
it was, and that's why I'm like, I'm glad we're away from those angles. But I love the relationship angles because again, we don't need to necessarily know, and that's the only negative note social media is that we don't need to know wrestlers' personal lives on who's really dating who, unless they feel like they want to share it, and that's cool. I celebrate it. Like, good for
another thing that I despise about it too is like when someone jokingly brings up their significant others in real life, you don't have to play civil police to be like, no, let's keep this person away from this person. Bitch, who are you?
Yeah. Like,
I'm not out here saying this person will break up their relationship. I'm just saying, like, remember when it was like, okay, Dom got a real wife, a work wife, and a side chick and Liv. It was niggas all up and down my mentions talking about let's keep it separate now. I'm like, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, I know how to cut it off. I'm not out here saying, oh my God, Liv is gonna break up Dom's marriage. No. I'm just jokingly about saying, hey, he has a real wife off screen, a work wife, and a side chick. Now his side chick is his main chick, and he has an ex-wife. He has an ex-work wife, and now he has a real wife. So it's like, if you don't know how to tell those jokes, please keep it to yourself. Your lack of comprehension ain't got shit to do with me. But yeah, I agree with you on that. I actually enjoy those type of stories because I'm a writer at heart. Like I like story. Like don't make it too cheesy.
Yeah,
but make it fun. Have fun. Like the whole Liv getting on social media saying when Rhea said that line, she was like, "Well, I can tell you that is not true."
Yeah.
You can tell she was in character. Yeah. So,
and that's
if you know how to tell someone away from their real person, then you're doing great. If you don't know how to tell the person away from the real person, maybe you should not consume this type of entertainment. Because you take it too personal.
You know, and people forget we also call wrestling one of TV's greatest soap operas. So what's a soap opera if you don't have the romantic angles the way that you do? You know what I'm saying?
And for the love of God, please stop policing how people react to this shit too.
Yeah, man.
Y'all love like if someone is fantasy booking how this goes, stop. And now they go weird with it, like overboard. Then you be like, "Hey, bro, chill the fuck out." But it's like if they're booking it within the confines of the story, or if they're reacting to like their favorite, if they're fan of this person is reacting to it this way, you ain't got to police every goddamn thing. I promise.
Facts.
Because you ain't nobody's mama, you ain't nobody's daddy, you're not their representative. So what are you doing? What are we doing here? But speaking of this, that's a nice segue into us doing our bidding stuff. Because anything else happened on Raw that we want to talk about? Oh, Bronson Reed destroyed Awesome Truth, which pissed me the fuck off because you didn't have to do our truth like that.
Yeah, man.
You didn't have to do our truth like
doing
that.
truth like Unless Truth is just like
Miz is whatever, but Truth, come on, man.
Yeah, man, that wasn't cool, bro. He lost some points for me on that. Bronson, I said. But it was like, well, all right, cool. I'm just gonna tally that up for the.
What did you think about the 2 out of 3 falls?
Oh no, I thought that was solid. Predictable as they got towards the end though, because it took so long for each fall. You kind of knew, like, well, I guess that means Braun is gonna win 2 straight, kind of thing.
I thought it was gonna be a clean sweep. Right
I did too.
And then when Sammy got the first fall, I was like, it caught me off guard. I like it when y'all catch me off guard.
And they did good because they also made you think for a second that Sammy was going to win that thing back for a little second, because even after the first fall, he came close a couple times to getting that second fall. So normally 2 out of 3 falls can be predictable, but I forgot how much I love those kind of between them and Iron Man matches when they're done correctly in terms of like how they sway the field of how this is going to work. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a solid main event. Like Pat McAfee said, it was a PLE. That was PLE worthy for a Monday Night Raw.
Now, what do you think they go with Braun Breaker as Intercontinental Champion?
I'm trying to figure that out, honestly, in terms of like who the heck makes a good contender for this guy that's on that side of the field, other than Dragunov, when they decide to inevitably go to that route. I don't know, man. I mean, I doubt we see Jey Uso go after that title.
I was kind of hoping that he would have came out and sort of teased him going after it, but then again, they're so focused on him saying yeet. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, who else is really just on that side of the field, really shining in the mid card like that? Bronson Reed is, but he's kind of just on a side quest of making a name for himself. So I don't know if they're trying to put him in like top tier or keep him mid. I don't know what they're trying to do with him just yet. They just got him squashing people right now. So it's similar to what Braun's doing when he spears the hell out of people. Ludwig, Sheamus, they could contenders.
They could cross paths with that. So I'm saying, like, and one thing about Braun, the way he does, and especially the way he conducts interviews, like I checked out his interview with Muscle Man Malcolm from over SummerSlam weekend, and he was like, anybody can get it, even John Cena. So we could possibly get especially if John Cena's about to retire next year, because he's going to be. He has a confirmed 36 dates from January 2025 to December 2025. So he's going to be scattered throughout 2025. So I would not be surprised if we have a crossing of the guard, or the passing of the torch between those two.
Story-wise, that definitely makes sense. Cena's never won that title. Some titles never won. And then also, you know, if you're going to have some people Cena's going to put over, he's one of them. And the guy we talked about earlier is probably the other guy, if done right by that point, Carmelo Hayes. So, those are your 2 future stones that you want a guy like Cena to put over. Because clearly, the last 2 you've done ain't really fared the best.
Nope.
So
especially
far.
Mr. A-Town Down Under.
Especially. Because with Solo, you can still say he's a made man. I will say a lot of people have been saying that too. He's a made man because at least he's in a top feud that involves his family, and it's very high profile. So you give him that, and like we said, he's getting reaction that's at least organic. But aside from that, it ain't faring too well for that guy.
But as far as Braun, I kind of see that boat too. Like Braun versus Ilya is definitely a feud I would like to see them revisit it. Who else is on that? Like you mentioned, Ludwig and Sheamus, and hell, I want to say Jay, but
I'll throw one in. I got another one. It may come off like a downgrade, but
it's the mid card, so there's no such thing as a downgrade.
Okay, then Damian
It's an elevation
Priest.
for whoever you about to say. Damian Priest?
Yeah.
Nah, that's not a downgrade.
Well, because you know how some people say, like, once you win the title, and then well, I guess you're right. It's not a downgrade. Maybe even Drew. Maybe.
Yeah, because they haven't really. It's like they went out of their way to build that title up as pretty much on par with the world title.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised. It's like over time, a Damian Priest go head to head with Braun or Drew or hell even a CM Punk. Like just to give that rub, I wouldn't be surprised.
True, because that's a title he's never won either. I don't think.
Nah, he's won. It was 2008.
He won the
He beat
IC
William.
title.
He beat William Regal.
Right, he did. Never mind, he did that title. I'm tripping. I forgot about that. All right.
He never won the U.S. title.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
He's World Tag Team IC.
Mm-hmm.
He won the World Heavyweight title and the WWE title.
Okay.
And Money in the Bank twice. But yeah, he never won the US title. And the ECW title, excuse me. But
yeah, so he's got some contenders then when everybody's kind of done with like their side quests. And like I said, you can't forget a Bronson Reed, a Seth Rollins, it depends on the order of plans for everybody depending on you know what I'm saying with that. Because the World Heavyweight title picture, obviously Gunther's gonna need all the challengers he can get as he runs through who he runs through. Once he runs through them, obviously they're gonna have to go for the IC
they're going to
title.
build these guys up. Yeah, they're going to build these guys up. And speaking of Punk and side missions, it's looking like we're probably getting a strap match between him and Drew at Bash in Berlin. How you feeling about that?
I don't know how I missed that part of Raw for some reason.
It was literally it literally happened right as Randy Orton finished his face to face with Gunther.
Interesting.
It literally just transitioned right into it.
Strange. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised I didn't catch that specific part. So yeah, that sounds about right for these two. Usually it's either something like that or a dog collar match or
I wouldn't touch the dog collar. I wouldn't touch the dog collar because WWE is still technically PG, so I feel like they wouldn't do the dog collar match justice just yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like for them two, it's either a match like that or a Hell in a Cell, which I'm also surprised they didn't go with.
That's what I'm saying. If they go past Bash in Berlin, Bad Blood, Hell in a Cell would definitely be a nice closing for this personal feud.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people, for some reason, are not comprehending why it's over a bracelet. And it's like, it got to the point where Punk had to legitimately spoon feed people saying, it's not about the bracelet. It's the principle of him having something. He's keeping my wife's name in his mouth. He's keeping my dog's name in his mouth. That's the principle. That's the principality of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I be laughing when people need to be spoon fed everything. I'm like, it comes across pretty clear to me. You mentioned my wife's name. I gotta fuck you up. That's like you mentioning my kids or my nieces and nephews. Like, if somebody mentions my nieces and nephew with ill intent, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same situation here. But if they do have a strap match, I need them to not do the corners. Remember that version of the WWE version with the corners? Yeah, I need y'all to go straight up. Y'all just attached to each other and just whooping each other's ass. That's literally it.
Yeah, bro. And we'll see how it plays. I mean, I could see it just being a straight up. They just whoop each other's they would want it that way more than likely. Unless, Drew's just whooping Punk so bad that four corners thing saves him. And it's like a rubber to
That's kind of cheesy. I don't know. I never liked the four corners thing. I don't know why. I never liked it. I didn't like it when JBL and Eddie Guerrero did it. I didn't like it when
JTG and
Shad did it. I'm like, I just never liked the four corners. I was like, I like it when you just whoop the fuck out of each other. Like when they had the bull rope match with Dusty Rhodes and Randy Orton. I liked it when they went that route.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of Randy Orton, I guess we can go ahead and do our betting odds for Bash in Berlin. Like, what's your thoughts on the build between Gunther and Randy Orton for Bash and Berlin. Like Gunther straight up called this man's family bums and failures.
I don't
Gunther
know
does
how.
not care.
I don't know how. That's 3 generations deep. I don't know how you know, I'm mistaken. They're all
He basically said they lost. He basically said they had potential and they failed at their potential. They could have been better, but they failed at their potential. Randy Orton even said, he said, I don't know how you can say I wasted my potential when I'm a 14, soon to be 15-time world champion. I got a multitude. I got beautiful kids at home, and I have a smoking hot wife in St. Louis. How can you say I failed?
He sure as hell didn't. That was what, 2-time Grand Slam? 1 time? How many Grand Slam champions?
I think he's a two-time Grand Slam. It could be 1 because he's
I
won
want to
pretty
say
much
1
every
because I
title.
know Miz is in that category and he's like a
Miz
very
is
short
technically a
list.
2-time Grand Slam, so I'm pretty sure Randy Orton is 1 time
Yeah,
because he did win the U.S. title very late.
he did. A lot of people forgot about that run because it was just like, oh,
We all
what
did.
was
It's okay.
that? But that man's certified first ballot Hall of Famer, point blank period.
You think this match? If we had to do a bet on this one, I have a feeling this one match could definitely live up to the hype of their King of the Ring. How about you?
I'll bet the table. Well, let me see. What's our bar we want to set in terms of if this matches what they did the first time?
I feel like because what did we rate the first match? Was it like what was it, like a solid B plus?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I feel like it'll be the same. They probably will exceed. I want to bet that it'll exceed that B plus because I feel like
So you're going over.
yeah, I'm going over B plus.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm gonna say under, but slightly under, just slightly.
Okay.
Like
you
still
feel like
enough to be a banger.
It's gonna be a banger, but it's not gonna. The reason why I say I feel like it's gonna go over because one thing about Gunther, I feel like he never has the same match.
That is true. He doesn't. You know,
Like if I look back at him versus Ilya Dragunov. I know a lot of people hate when I bring up NXT, but fuck it, it's my show. I can do what I want. If you look at his first match and his second match with Ilya with NXT UK, the second match went over the first match, but the first match was still great.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think what the reason why the first match is still so great is because it was in an empty arena and you heard the violence.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it's like I feel like this will be the exact same thing. Like the first match, it was like a B plus, but I feel like they will definitely, and knowing Randy Orton, he's gonna want to be like, okay, let's go out there and have a banger,
Mm-hmm.
and let's go over. So,
yeah, I'm still gonna stick with the under slightly. Not to say that it won't be. I'm just gonna say that it has a better finish than the first one did to make it slightly. You know, it's like it'll match it, but slightly under compared to the original, just with a better finish. If that makes sense. Yeah.
no, it does.
Yeah. So that's where I'm sitting on that one. And then obviously running the table completely over on the retaining odds, obviously.
Oh yeah. It's the over Randy Orton loses, so Gunther retains.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I don't feel like ain't this technically his first title defense? Yeah. They're not building this man up just to lose.
No one ever loses.
They're pretty much doing this because it was a screwy finish. His shoulder was up as clear as day. So they was like, we finna right the wrong and just get another banger match out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and this adds to the point of long game that you mentioned with Triple H because King of the Ring was a good little minute ago, and we're just now getting the return on investment on that.
Yeah. Well, which also played in the fact that they were both technically on separate shows. But if that was the case, you could have just had him cross the path. But it is what it is. Speaking of championships, going to keep it to the championships. Cody Rhodes defends the undisputed WWE Championship against Kevin Owens in a match that Kevin Owens technically didn't want. Because in storyline, which another story where a lot of people need to get spoon fed with the reason why Kevin Owens didn't want it. He's an honorable babyface who's been helping the bloodline, and he was like, I didn't do anything to deserve this. So why are you doing this? But then when Nick Aldis mentioned Roman Reigns, he said, fuck that, give me the title. But as far as like, is this technically their first encounter in WWE?
It is, yes,
Because they faced off in Ring of Honor, I believe. I could be wrong.
Probably, but for WWE, it's definitely the first because Cody, when he was last there, Kevin Owens wasn't even in the company yet, and by the time Kevin Owens obviously got to,
I mean, he was 2016. They had that. I think the last time they had a match was Money in the Bank.
Kevin Owens was part of it?
Not Money in the Bank. They was in the ladder match. Remember the championship ladder match? Wasn't Stardust in that?
Yeah, he was.
It was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So,
but on a one-on-one sense.
But one-on-one, yeah, they never faced one-on-one.
Yeah, so like from a one-on-one, and we don't count anything that about Stardust, even though I get it. The man is still behind the character.
He's still technically Stardust, and some people actually like Stardust, but the man who played him just refused to. He's like fuck Stardust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're talking betting here, so I won't go too deep with this conversation, but it's more like I heard Bully Ray and Mark Henry kind of debate how they went about this, as old school minds typically do, and neither one of them really liked how they handled this. Like, why is your baby face? Well, they're both baby faces, but first of all, their two gripes was, one, why is your champion saying, I wonder who I'm going to face? And then you're like, you know what? I want to face Kevin Owens. Or so-and-so, just insert, even if it wasn't Kevin Owens, just insert, I want to face this person.
No, Ken, I thought it was Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, but it was the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. That's basically, I corrected myself. You good.
But then the other gripe was the fact that Kevin Owens actually just accepted something that he legit didn't earn. Even with the little Roman Reigns mission to try to bait him, he still didn't earn it. You know what I'm saying? It's like Mark Henry's gripe was, as someone who, like, now he put this in a personal sense because he was like, I was always taught never to take handouts, like earn your way to what you want. So like what he should have did, even as a babyface, he still could have did this with an edge, because of the fact that if you look at Swerve, who's a babyface, he's doing things with edge. So Kevin Owens could be like, look, I'm going to earn this. You just line up the guys and I'm going to knock them all down one by one. And don't think that when I get to you, don't think I'm going to go easy on you either, because I'm coming for what I want, kind of thing. But I don't know.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense. I can see that point of view. I can honestly see that point of view. It's like, on the hand of like, why are you refusing a title match? I get it, because you're like, I'm honorable, but it's like, I also can understand why it's like, yo, instead of just taking a handout, let me fight my way forward, because even though the match is made official, they're going backwards with it. Kevin Owens is still going to fight. He's still going to want to fight. Because I wouldn't be surprised if on SmackDown on Friday he'd be like, yo, I understand the match is official, but I still want to feel like I've earned this. So, yeah, I can see them going that route. But I understand where Mark Henry was coming from. Like, you don't want to take that handout if you don't have it. But at the same time, it is kind of funny that Kevin Owens was like, nah, I'm good. But then as soon as he heard Roman Reigns might get a rematch, he's like, no, fuck that.
See, I think this is where prize fighter Kevin would be so perfect right now, because it was just like you said.
Do you think they should turn him heel? Because I've seen that debate. I've seen that debate.
I can see a situation where, like, say they have a really good match, and then like he loses, but then it sparks that, nah, I had you, and then
similar to what they did with AJ Styles.
Yeah, kind of similar to like what they did with AJ
Even though AJ
Styles
was still technically a heel the entire time,
the entire
minus
time.
the fake retirement thing.
Right, right. Yeah, this wouldn't be a well. Now that wouldn't make Cody look all that smart.
I mean, that
Unfortunately,
didn't make him look smart. Like
exactly. And my point exactly because if you get turned on again, then it's like, God dang, Cody, again.
it should be a frustration type of turn on if they do decide to go the Kevin Owens heel turn.
Yeah, we'll see
You
what
know,
they decide to do. The
but my
match should be
betting
fun.
odds for this one,
Mm-hmm.
as far as like good match,
Over under.
I- it'll be over. This would definitely be a great match. I feel like they would definitely have good chemistry.
Yeah, I'm taking the over on this too. Um, I can see this being perfect chemistry amongst the two. It's gonna end, and it's Bash in Berlin. You got the factor of the foreign crowd aspect there on
Mhm.
top of that. It's gonna add to the extra elevation of that. So yeah, we're going over as well.
What about retention? You still see Cody retaining?
Oh yeah,
I,
I'm
that's
running the
definitely
table.
over. That's
Running the
definitely over.
table. Yeah, I bet the house on that one.
Then the last match from Bash in Berlin before we switch to All In is the match that was announced for on Monday. Is the mixed tag team match. Women's World Champion Liv Morgan and Dirty Dominic Mysterio versus the Terror Twins, Senor Damian Priest and Mommy Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
Interesting that it's not. So they're extending the rematch because you know they're going to have Rhea versus Liv in a rematch for the women's title. Probably a Bad Blood, which is
Man,
apropos.
I'm I'm hearing they're gonna try to stretch this all the way to Mania. God forbid.
Then that's going to give us. That's a whole nother conversation for another the way they book because the way they're booking Judgment Day,
hmm
getting destroyed by Damian and Rhea every week or at least 2 weeks in a row.
hmm I know. It's very similar to the
Survivor
Bloodline.
Series.
Royal Rumble at the latest.
Royal Rumble if you want to just touch it
Because
just to like
if it's Mania, you know that means Rhea's winning the Royal Rumble again. If that's the case.
which and if she doesn't win the Royal Rumble, she's winning the Elimination Chamber.
Or Liv loses and then somehow wins the Royal Rumble, and then either way, it just could.
It's gonna get right back to. So that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's a case where it's like if Liv loses and then they're gonna want to run it back again, and she loses the title, Liv should win the Elimination Chamber, and someone new should win the Royal Rumble.
That's fair.
Either that or just have her win the Royal Rumble and call it a day.
Yeah.
But do not have her be a runner up if they go that route.
Yeah, bro. I'm right there with you. But in terms of getting back to our bettings of this one, uh, this is 50-50 here in a sense. But
Right.
I'm gonna say this over on the baby faces, the Terror Twins, taking this because they got to get some type of revenge before getting those titles back. Well,
Okay.
one of them anyway. I can't speak for the other, but
Yeah. Damien ain't winning that title back. I'm sorry.
not anytime soon anyway. He'll
Not
get
anytime.
another title again, but it just right now it's Gunther's time.
With me, as far as over under, I have to say, ooh, I can see over that Damien and Rhea get screwed by Finn
Ooh, okay, okay, I like
because
that.
Finn is out here saying backstabbing Balor is about. So he's basically saying I'm going to play a real big part in that outcome. So I definitely see Liv and Dom winning because Finn Balor screws them.
I like that, bro. All right, that's a good take. That's a real good take. I never thought about that in my aspect. I thought it was like give them the happy ending, but I like where we're going on these two.
Especially the reason why I went that route too, because you saying you put it in my head that they're gonna try to extend this, and especially knowing Triple H's booking style, he's going to extend this. So yeah, it makes sense.
Jeez. At
It
some point,
makes
they're
sense.
gonna need some helping hands. Then I just don't know who's supposed to help them if there's gonna be more parties to neutralize.
Facts. So yeah, that's pretty. And then honestly, this is the betting odds is basically just us predicting where they're gonna go. This is not our official preview and predictions for the actual show. It's more so that that'll come as we get closer to it. But it's just our betting odds, like the direction that they're going with it. And we're gonna definitely do this pretty much every week. Actually, the more that they make matches evolve, as opposed to us just reviewing the shows. We're just gonna do the betting over and under. So I guess we could do all in and then pretty much get the hell up out of here.
Let's do it.
I guess we could start off with at the top the title versus career match. Swerve versus Bryan Danielson for the world title.
Ugh, a hard one. Okay. Well, I've thought long and hard about this one. Not even gonna lie to you. Confidently, I went one way, but now, listening to a few opinions, it almost feels like I want to take the over on Bryan Danielson actually going out on top. Because apparently, by the end of the year, they'll be in Washington.
Oh, for World's End?
Yeah, meaning that he could hold the title up until that point and then drop it to whoever the new champion will be by that point. So, that's kind of where I'm at on that one.
I'm cool with that because I'm over with Bryan winning the title because of Hangman. I feel like Hangman is going to screw Swerve out of that chip. He's obsessed with Swerve. If he doesn't screw him out of that chip, he's either going to screw Bryan Danielson, and they're going to have it because they still got All Out in like 2 weeks after All In.
True.
So it's either going to be Swerve versus Hangman non-title or Swerve versus Hangman with the title. But I definitely see my over is Swerve is screwed out of that title because of Hangman. And they might do like a triple threat at All Out.
Okay. Not mad at it.
But either way, I see Bryan winning that title. So
Okay. That'll be an interesting outcome for sure.
Facts. So let's see what else we got. For the AEW International Championship or the American Championship, Will Ospreay versus MJF.
Well,
hopefully this shit doesn't go an hour.
You know what? After if a television version went an hour, god dang, this one's gonna go an hour and a half.
Oh, fuck that.
All right, brother. I'm taking the over on Will Ospreay taking his second L.
So MJF retaining is how you got it.
Yes, and the reason being behind this is because it feels like, and I guess I could say over, included in my over, is that I get the strangest feeling that Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis play a part in this, and screwing him and turning on him, setting that side quest of the feud, and I guess MJF continues to do this American thing.
Which is unfortunate.
In many ways.
Unfortunately, I kind of agree with you too. I see them having. My bet is over for MJF retain the title because he cheats, because his character hasn't evolved in years, so he's not going to evolve on one night. So yeah, MJF retains because of cheating. Yeah. I really don't care about MJF as a character anymore, so there's that. Enough of that. Next up, we have for the TNT Championship, Jack Perry defending against Darby Allin. Am I the only one who feels like this should be a stipulation?
Yeah, it should. I can see a nice stipulation to this. So many different ways they could have done it. Hell, you could have did an Inferno match.
They
Based
already
on the
set this
top.
man on fire.
Yeah, you could have did something like that, but oof. Okay, this one's a little tricky as well. I'm going to say just barely, slightly over Jack Perry retaining the TNT Championship.
Okay.
Slightly over. Yeah, I do mean slightly. Just above the midline, but we'll go with that. I don't have a particular reason behind the over.
Not just yet.
Not just yet. Probably because I haven't seen enough of it to really try to guess it. But it just feels like an over because I think he just won that title not that long ago. And it just feels like...
At the last pay-per-view, am I correct?
I do believe so, yeah. So, looks like he'll hold on to that for at least a little while longer.
Well, I think this will be the second time I agree with you with the over, because I feel like Jack Perry will retain, but I feel like the Elite will get involved because it's the Elite. So I definitely see Jack Perry retaining, and yeah, because of the Elite.
I actually, you know what? I do have a reason. I don't think it would be the Elite. I think it will be the Elite, but not them directly. I think they hired somebody new.
You think because of a debut member of the Elite?
Maybe not even necessarily a member, just someone that they brought in from the outside as a new signee. That is like a side feud for Mr. Allen.
I can see that. I definitely could see that. Let's look at the chat. Okay, Cam say I'm taking Jack with Hi-Lite. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I feel like all of us are taking Jack, but it's just how they get there is our over and under stuff like that. Next up, this was a match that was made for the 0 hour, but it's been building on TV.
Okay,
It's Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii. That's going on the 0 hour. So I thought that would be. I don't know, but bet you he gonna put a Chris Jericho segment or match on the pay-per-view, because fuck me, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm just gonna say over on the baby faces. That's pretty much all. I have nothing. It's just over on the baby faces. That's it. That's all I got.
And as far as my case, I'm gonna have to say, you said over under, so you basically like either or.
Oh well, no, over on the baby faces, like running the table.
Under. I don't know why I heard under.
It's probably... you're good. Yeah, okay. They're running the table. I just don't see. I don't see it. They're running the table.
I feel like I'm just gonna pivot because I feel like Chris and Stokely don't need to lose again. True. When it comes to Willow. So I'm gonna have to go over with the heels winning because of dubious.
She did beat Willow, actually.
Oh yeah, to earn a title shot.
Yeah, which is weird because we were under the impression that's what was gonna happen here, which is another reason why I'm a little frustrated, because I'm like, well then when's this title match supposed to happen? That's why I don't understand.
Is that a CMML thing where they have to determine the title match?
Apparently, I guess so. Let's see. Yeah. What can you say? Give it to the baby faces.
He like, I'm tired of trying to figure this shit out. He's like, yeah, sure. And then we have another match is for the TBS Championship, Mercedes Monday versus the, I guess you could say, reinstated Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. They
Yeah.
pretty much played up the suspension on TV, which apparently, according to MJF, wasn't what was read on TV. According to the interview he had with Cultaholic, I didn't watch the interview. I try not to read what's said on Twitter because people misconstrue things all the time to get their engagement. So I'm gonna eventually get around to watching the interview and see what he had to say about it. But according to him, it didn't happen the way that it happened. So there's that. But as far as this match, Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker, I see I see Mercedes retaining because of either Camille or she expands her faction. But I'm gonna add an extra over with them finally letting Jamie Hayter return if she's good to go because she's been out for nearly 2 years now.
I am going to say, well, I like that on both counts. I'm gonna say, I don't know if this is the time yet for a new member of said faction yet. So I'm gonna say it is definitely because thanks in part to Camille. However, I think will be neutralized by a returning Jamie Hayter, but still allows Mercedes to get the retention. So over on that for sure.
Oh, so basically Mercedes retaining because Jamie returns to neutralize Camille. But she still
Gets
retains.
the win. Yeah.
Okay. And I think the last thing before we get sign off for the week, and we survived with internet.
Yes,
So
we did.
we
Hey,
did. We survived with internet. But yeah, definitely Camille's going to be a factor. But the last one is the Casino Battle Royal, or not Battle Royal, the Casino Gauntlet for a guaranteed world title shot. Do you see any debuts for this one?
You know it.
I already know.
Yep. You know exactly where I'm going. It feels like it. Straight out the jump.
Do Ricochet, we might as well say his name, WWE name. I don't know if he's gonna go by Ricochet or I don't know the trademark situations with that.
Yeah, like wasn't that his nickname before WWE anyway? I know he had Prince Puma, but I thought he was Ricochet on the Indies.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know the trademark situations with that. I believe honestly, I think they said they're going to go the route where if a person leaves the company, they're going to let them walk with the trademarks. We will see. But I definitely, so you basically voting over with Ricochet debuting. Do you see him winning though?
Yeah, it kind of depends on who's in it. But
so I guess for now we don't have to worry about the prediction. We just worry about the debut.
Okay. Let's just do this. Let's do this. Here's over under. This is the best way to over under. Current wrestling free agents. Okay, we'll say.
According to Ken, he owns Ricochet, so he'll definitely be Ricochet.
I thought so. That's why I was like,
I was just making sure because you know how WWE with the trademarks and stuff, you never know.
So let's go off these. This is according to Fightful. This is a list of current free agents. Aiden O'Shea, aka Jay Bradley, Alpha Jr., aka Manu, Del Patron, Del Rio, Alex Shelley, which that's not completely true because the Motor City Machine Guns are signed under WWE. Alexander Wolf, Andrew Everett, Bob Lashley, but I don't. No, that was a contract expiration, right?
Yeah, he expired. He's not under a non-compete. His contract technically expired last week.
So technically, him and or both MVP could show up for this. Technically, So I'm just throwing out names so you can over under whomever. That's how we can do this one. This can be fun like that. Got Brian Kendrick. Back for this reasons of Calvin Tankman. Oh, Trevor Lee. Lee, another interesting one. Chris Masters, Cheeseburger. Let's see, Colin Delaney, Avocado,
Cheeseburger.
Dijak, another one.
I can see him. I can see. So let's do it like this. Let's do vote over under the top 5 free agents we see debuting.
Okay, I'm trying to go through to see if there's anyone else interesting that's in here. I won't throw Jeff Hardy in there because we know that the Hardy Boys are kind of, even though free agents, we know that's not going to happen back there. I'm just looking through. Matt Cardona sometimes pops in there, but I doubt it. Yeah, that seems to be about it from what I can see. Shelton Benjamin could also be an option.
That'd be a good option.
Let's see. Tyler Breeze.
He's technically still kind of WWE. I doubt.
Okay.
He'll pop up.
Zion Quinn, Willie Mack. Yeah, let's go off top 5 based off of that.
Wait, Willie Mack is not signed with AEW no more?
Evidently, he's under this free agent list, so I guess that means he's technically free agent.
Wow.
So
I thought he was still on the roster.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, well, okay. So based off what we see, based off some of the notable names I mentioned, you let me know, brother. Who do you think out of that?
My over pick, I see Ricochet debuting, Dijak debuting, and maybe 3 random UK indie talents.
Okay.
The reason I say that because they're still technically in the UK, you know they're gonna have some try to get that pop from somebody from the UK. So
Okay.
What about you?
My over is definitely Bobby Lashley, MVP, Ricochet, and or Dijak. One of those 4, if not all of them.
Okay, so you said Bobby Lashley, MVP, Ricochet,
And Dijak.
and maybe Dijak.
Yeah, because I mean, this is all in. This is like their WrestleMania, so when you think about it, guns are.
And I'm also going based off of what they did last year, where they had a lot of random, like unsigned talent pop up to pop the UK crowd. So, But yeah, man, that's pretty much where we stand with basically All In and Clash at the Castle. Not Clash. I don't know why I keep saying Clash at the Castle. All In and Bash in Berlin because they overseas. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Yeah.
But Bash in Berlin. I guess we're gonna watch AEW this week. I didn't bother downloading the match cards for tomorrow because it is what it is. But hey, we're gonna definitely do this often to where we pretty much do our betting odds for the upcoming pay-per-views, and we might do this going forward with all pay-per-views coming up as opposed to just sitting down and systematically breaking down everything that goes on with this. But what you got coming up, brother?
Yeah, man, we got quite a bevy of things, man. We got a mixtape dropping on September the 6th. And of course, if you're in the New York area, catch me out there on September 27th for a Kingdom Awards pre-show Who's Got Bars contest. Myself and 7 other contestants battle it out in 4 rounds. Last one standing. It's basically a battle royal, except with MCs to see who's got the best bars. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the only representative of the South in this entire lineup, so got the South on my back with this one. So if you're in the NYC area, somewhere in the Tri-Cities, come pull up to that. We'd love to see you if you're out that way. Alabama, Birmingham will be out that way November 16th. So anybody in the Alabama area, make sure you pull up on us out there. Thank you, Ken. Shout out to God for also making sure our internet was great because we love y'all, and it's always great when the internet acts right. So thank you for that one. And other than that, man, for the most
It was
part,
hold on for dear life.
it was. You know what I'm saying? And we made it work. Thank you, Lord. But yeah, man, outside of that, I felt like there was one more show somewhere in there I'm forgetting about, but I'll just mention it next week if I forget. But yeah, man, we got a lot coming up, man. Staying busy. But y'all make sure y'all keep it locked. Follow all things OTS Media Co. We've been on the hiatus because our boy DJ is prepping for getting married in October.
The boy's getting married.
He's getting married.
Finally.
You know what I'm saying? We can't wait to celebrate you, brother. But in the meantime, while he's
we're gonna
prepping for
celebrate because we might as well just say it because we're gonna celebrate by I'm taking this nigga to Bad Blood. So I told him, hey, bro, our group has to pay for their ticket, but you're good on the ticket. I said, nigga, that's your wedding present. Don't ask me for nothing else. That's your wedding present.
yeah, pretty much, brother.
Cause we finally found some cheap ass tickets. They wasn't cheap, but they was cheaper than what they were.
And still with a good view, it looks like. So
and luckily we're home, so that way, if I gotta pick people up, and I already know where people can park.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is just get there like 2 hours early, just walk around downtown to just chill, and then go to the event and then walk home. Mm-hmm. Like we're good on that. Luckily, we're home.
We're good. You know what I'm saying? With no hotel worries or nothing. We can go to the show and mob out downtown when we want and go home. We could. You know
and if the show is trash, we can just go home.
yeah, pretty much.
But luckily, the pay-per-views ain't been misses.
I mean, they've been at least decent, if nothing else. Where it's like, okay, solid. You know, you find a gold mine match or two, and then you're like, okay, solid. You know.
So we're good on that. So yo, if you catch us if you're in the Atlanta area, if you catch us at Bad Blood, don't hesitate to say what's up.
Just don't be weird.
Don't be weird. I mean, if you be weird, I'll just ignore you. I'm good at doing that.
I mainly say that because we have women with us too, so you know, don't be weird.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I will punch the shit out of you. I promise you. I'm home. My sister was laughing at me. I say, hey, bro, people think I'm lying, but I literally have savings for bail. So don't try it.
Got to.
That's all I'm saying.
You feel me? So
don't try it.
You know. But yeah, brother, that's about it on this end.
Well, that's about it.
About you, brother.
In general, that's about it. Like that's literally it. Like I'm locked in on the gym. I'm slowly but surely getting back locked in on content wise. Okay. I'm not as playing video games as I used to be because it's like I'm at a different point in my life where like whatever I did like last year and the year before that is not really there anymore. So, but the content is still being consistent. Even if I just have to go full throttle with the retrospectives, I'm cool with that. If I had to be one of those YouTubers where we just go straight retrospective, like shout out to Deontay DJ for doing his thing. Like he don't really do video games as much. He pretty much do retro reviews. And I'm like, I feel like as long as you're having fun with it, that's the wave. But hey, man. Other than that, make sure you guys keep up locked with us at Hi-Lite Life for Hi-Lite Real. At is Gresh on X, Twitter. I'm not calling it X, Twitter. AO is Gresh everywhere else. I finally remember my password for TikTok, so clips of everything is going to be uploaded over there. Other than that, YouTube, it's Gresh. Mm-hmm. Twitch, we had a brief suspension because of copyrights. We got that cleared up. We're good. We're back on Twitch. At AO is Gresh. Scan that QR code to subscribe to the podcast. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us over 2 hours. It was a fun time to just kick back and just chop it up and with everything. But other than that, make sure you guys stay safe out here in these streets. Remember, it's okay to be great. It's okay to exuberate, to be. The greatness is inside of you. All you have to do is just stick to the plan and execute it. everybody can get that greatness out of them if you just stick to it. If ain't nobody tell you, we love you. We appreciate you for rocking with us through and through, whatever the cause. Do you have a song of the week before we get up out of here?
Yes, I do, my brother. Let me go through because I was just listening to some jams. Give me a sec, brother, if you want. That's right. I was on my '90s vibes, bro. So I might don't laugh, but I'm going Freak Nasty with the dip.
Freak Nasty.
Yeah, I'm going that old school Atlanta right there with that one, man. You know what I'm saying? So I forgot how much I enjoyed that bounce sound back in the day. That was pretty cool.
Nah, I rock with that. I'm going old school myself. I'm going with Usher.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Because that's been looping in my gym playlist, and I'm like, that always gets me right.
Yeah,
it gets me right every time. Because for some reason it always comes after 10K by KB.
Okay.
So it's like that's a nice little. So yeah, that's my song, Usher. Yeah, going retro Atlanta. We talking about Bad Blood Atlanta, but yo, man. Other than that, y'all stay safe out here in these streets, and remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. We'll see y'all next week.